So we are here in the streets of Johannesburg. We are in Melbourne. We are here today to commemorate Human Rights Day. And the way we are commemorating Human Rights Day as Build One South Africa is to announce that we will be proceeding with litigation against the states to ensure that they end water shedding in institutions that provide essential services like clinics. We are here at Melbourne Clinic today, and like schools, because we found that even in schools, learning is interrupted. We find that children have to go home between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. in some schools almost daily because of the issue of water. I'm here and I'm going to talk to two community members of Melbourne, Mr. Mike and Mr. Fraser, and we are going to talk about the issue of water and the right to water, but also we're going to talk about their experiences as a community and actually what they believe communities need to do in order to turn the situation around in South Africa and their own communities in order to realize really the human rights that are enshrined in our constitution. And so I'm joined today by members of the community that are going to be talking to me about the issue of water. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. Maybe if we start with you, sir.
I'm Max Vadina. I'm the chairman of the clinic committee. I'm the chairman of the clinic committee and a community member of Australia in the area.
And a community member. You, sir?
I am Fraser Tabete, a resident of Malvern, but also I'm the chairperson of Law and Human Rights Sector in Joburg District. So I'm here today, very happy that you managed to be here with us, and you are more than welcome.
No, thank you. Thank you. I absolutely appreciate that. Maybe let's start with understanding what really is the experience. We'll start with you, Mike, of the community with the water shedding and with access to water.
The community is the community is basically upset about it there because at the moment while we're talking now, the reservoir, Alexander Reservoir, is still on bypass because they discovered a problem in of a lack of maintenance. They had to drain all the water, bypass it, and they've cleaned the water out. Now they cleaned it, now they're putting the water back in again, and we've got problems. The water flow is strong in some areas, other areas it's weak at the moment. And it's frustrating. As you said, the clinic a couple of weeks, quite a few times, had to close. Normally about 10 o'clock the water would run out and then we have to close. And we've had community members actually come in here and threaten the staff here because denied his access to water. He coming in there, he came to threaten the staff. Yeah, we've had that. So the frustrations there. And we've had the water tankers driving around here or something, but they come all odd hours as well. And so the community is upset.
Yeah. No, understandably. Let me come to you, Fraser. How does it affect the community on a day-to-day? I mean, you chair a human rights civil society organization, and part of the reason we're here today is this is how we are marking Human Rights Day by saying that the right to water has got to be upheld. Now, how does it affect just the daily living of community members when there's no water?
Water is actually a human right issue, number one. Secondly, water is very essential when it comes to hygiene and just other well-being issues of every individual in this community. So if we don't have water at a primary healthcare level, that is so alarming to a point where I'm not surprised you are taking them to court, because water is a basic right for every citizen in this country. So if we are in a situation whereby we are compromising people to access to water, yet we have a government, I ask myself, where are we going as a people? So as law and human rights activist, I'm very, very concerned because we were in the situation of shortage of water, yet we already have other issues, electricity. In fact, most of basic needs are not met in this community. And I can assure you, it is happening in other communities as well. So it is something that we hope that you're going to achieve your focus on addressing this matter as a matter of urgency?
Absolutely. I mean, we are committed to it. We're absolutely committed to it. And we don't start now because we have been raising this issue of water for over 2 years. It has been an issue that we've taken very seriously as Program South Africa, to the point of we have been delivering water tanks in numerous areas in Johannesburg, in Gauteng, all over the country. Because when we get to communities, we would arrive and we would find that there's no water. And sometimes you really just can't leave a community with no water. You have to drill a borehole, you have to find a ways for that community to be able to have water, because you see the realities that people live with day to day. You see that people sometimes, you would walk in a community, and there's even in this very community, I have been here, and you walk and you look on the streets and people are looking dirty, and you wonder, why are people looking dirty? Then they tell you, we haven't had water for a week. And we are just basically not able to wash. And that is really infringing on the right to just chew and eat it, as a basic. Now, I want to come back to you, Mr. Mike, and ask, the local elections are coming up next year.
Correct. Yeah.
What are the things that you think have been neglected when it comes to local government in your community?
Oh, there's a long list there, not all day. Everything's been neglected there. Lack of service delivery. I mean, street lights are not working there. I mean, lack of water there. I mean, like those robots at the corner there, they've been out there since the last 3 years. The robots have been out. The water, the local government there, the people they sit in a thing there, they're not on the ground there. Unfortunately, the councillors, they sit in their meetings and so on there, not on the ground, and everything's been denied there. Local government, sadly, is corrupted. There's corruption in high areas there, incompetent people working there in the government, the local government, unfortunately, that's why there's no service delivery here. I mean, okay, I don't know, the ward councillor for the ward here, I mean, we haven't, he knew about this meeting, he hasn't even put his face on, nothing. It's issues. Now, I'll let him know, because he's also on our committee there. He knows about this meeting there. He never rocked up there.
We can do what we can as political parties right now, but ultimately, it's in the hand of the citizens. It's in the hands of the citizens to say, when the elections come, there's another election, we've just had one, in 2020. Oh, we've got another one coming in 2026. When the elections come, it is really the citizens that have to decide. That future is in their own hands, and that power is in their own hands to decide. Are you putting back the same people that, as you're saying, Mr. Mike, are nowhere to be seen when there's crises like these that have to be dealt with within communities? So I want to come to you, Put Fraser, and ask you, what are you expecting from political leaders?
Well, as community representatives, most of us who are not in active politics, but at the same time, we are fully aware of what are basic needs that are out there for all of us as the citizen. Unfortunately, that is not forthcoming. And as a result, we get confused when it's election time, because there are a lot of activities and so on. But at the end of the day, it's been 30 years now, and we're still in the same situation. Yes, some few things have improved here and there, but really, when it comes to basic needs, my sister, can politicians say, listen to us and say at least nothing like luxury, but the most basic needs, which is electricity, water, jobs, infrastructure development, and so on and so forth. These are things that we should be having as citizens. But unfortunately, here we are today talking about the most pressing issues, which is water.
Tell me, do you think political leaders are in touch with their communities?
Well, as communities, in most cases, we say we elect them. And once they are on top there, they forget about us. I'm saying this because it happens in our own communities where we elect certain leaders. They they lead, and then at the end of the day, we still in the same spot where we were, and will remain there up until we as communities start really governing ourselves.
100%.
Because this thing of certain individuals governing us is not working for us. Need to look at how best this has to start bottom up, not up and down, because it's just not working.
It's just not working. And let me tell you, this is why we started Build One South Africa. The very moral of Build One South Africa says, let communities choose their own leaders. Let communities choose their own candidates. Even for 2024, our candidates came from communities. We said, nominate your leaders, then endorse them with at least 1,000 signatures.
Yes.
And then they would go through a process, a screening process with an independent panel, not party leadership, an independent panel that then screened the candidates after they'd been nominated and endorsed by committees. And it has to be that way, because then this is a person that you have chosen. I mean, the community could, for instance, nominate you, and they will hold you accountable because you are one of them, you are part of the community. We really can not be in a situation where we are outsourcing our power. You know, we're subcontracting our power. We actually have to take our power into our own hands and make sure that we're the ones as communities that are governing, and we're governing ourselves. So I couldn't agree more. Just in closing, your last words to communities, to the people out there. What are your words to the to communities and to people out there?
People become involved in your community there. They'd always become involved there in, like I've got like residents associations, they become involved in that then, come in cleanup campaigns there, which I've got, that sort of thing there. Find out there from help at NGOs or something you got there, you can help out there and so on there. People need to become involved and take control. From my point of view, we don't need politicians, even though I am a councillor there, so we don't not really need us there or something there. We as a community ourselves should take control of our own situation. They don't rely on, like the clinic here, we got painter nature there, and us as the manager, we painted the clinic out ourselves, the room, because the city promised us in, but we couldn't wait. We got the paint and we did it ourselves.
Become involved.
Wow.
That is your message. Become involved. Mr. Fraser, what is yours?
I think I'll allude what Mike is saying, that we as communities, now time has come where we stand up and be counted. We have leaders like Mike. He's known in this community, irrespective of any political party. He has been working with the community for decades. These are people that should be, given an opportunity to, because they've been there year in, year out. On the 11th of April, we're having an event at Ebukanyin Community Center here in Denver, where we'll be talking about these issues. But can you imagine, on that day, we'll be asked why we're not having water in our clinic. What is this human right all about? So these things makes it difficult for all of us to do our work. I think let's stand together and fight this scourge of poverty together. And at the end of the day, we will succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to speak to me. I love what you say. I love that you are community driven. I love that you are relying on yourselves as communities, and you are ready to send one of yourselves, two of yourselves, three of yourselves to be the ones who represent you and to lead you. We always say that for us at Build One South Africa, BOSA is us. We are BOSA. BOSA ke nna, BOSA ke wena, BOSA ke rona. It is us, and that's what we've got to do. That is the kind of narrative we actually need to start driving in every way in our community. So thank you very much for speaking to me. We're going to fight this water issue together until we get it done.